What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Red and Biggie podcast. I am Red.
I'm Biggie.
Wow, very nonchalant there, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. This is their first episode. They're gonna get to know me very
uh,
intimately. I feel. I already talked about my balls, but you deleted that. So
well, it's gonna be on there. We're still rolling. So, just a little bit about myself before we get into it, because this is the first episode. Like I said, I am Red. Big thing about me to know is I'm into sports, video games, and food. If you couldn't tell, I'm an extra large individual, and I'm just the everyday factory worker. What about you, Biggie?
that's all you're gonna say.
That's
All
yeah.
right.
I'm a simple man. I'm a simple
That's fair.
man.
That's fair. Not much to really tell about me. I'm Biggie. I'm bigger than Red, so that's why I get the bigger name. Uh, I play video games, work in a factory in shipping, and we're just gonna talk about fun stuff. Hopefully make people laugh, maybe cry. Um,
Definitely gonna cry when they were like, "Dude, this is such just a sad take, man."
right, we're gonna talk about our dads and how they used to beat us or wasn't there.
Which is which, you'll never know.
Right, we'll never tell. But Red, what have you been playing here lately, buddy?
Yeah, man. So we just discussed this, but the dogs in the background decided to go off. So here we are.
Yeah.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, dude. I know it's kind of old news when you're talking like video game news. But dude, I'm still on that. I'm like 70 plus hours right now. I'm only probably like halfway through the story. You know me personally in our real lives. When I play these type of games, I don't just, main storyline and get it over with. I like you're spending the $70, right? Like I'm gonna
Mhm.
get every single like penny that I've spent.
What
So
didn't you get the deluxe edition or?
I did. I got the. Well, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I only spent $70, so I might have got the standard edition, but because I pre-ordered, it
Oh.
came with like that DLC, the clause of a Jiwa or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is like a phenomenal game, dude. Been playing that, and then as far as shows go, I just last week, I think this week, finished the last episode of Daredevil on Disney. So, dude, huge fan. Not a fan of the ending, but it's typical Disney ending for a TV show, I feel like. And then also in the middle of Invincible. I know we've talked a little bit about that, off cam, but
Such a good show.
dude, it is. I thought I watched up to see. I thought I watched season two, but
Hmm.
apparently I finished season one and then I just kind of like stopped because season two I remember nothing. So in that right now though,
Yeah.
but yeah, trying to catch up to you guys so we can kind of discuss that. When we're playing our games on Discord and stuff. But yeah, man, what about you?
Man, so game wise, I've really been into this game called Blueprints,
Ooh,
and I don't think I've ever played a game that has like made me take literal notes in like a notebook. Like
really?
I almost specifically went out and bought a notebook, but then I was like, you know what? I've got 5 different notebooks in this house anyway. I'll just take one of them.
Is it
But
really
no,
like that, dude? I didn't see. I
it
didn't know
is.
that.
It is.
I
There
didn't
it
know.
is. There is so much that you need to keep track of in this game. The fact that it doesn't offer you a notebook on its own is kind of ridiculous, but for like a $30 game, it's not
Right.
bad, I don't think. So yeah, I've got a notebook sitting above me right now I've got like a
Straight
page and a half so
blueprints
far of
notes.
just notes.
Dude, see
So
and that's a game actually. Like I've heard you playing it, a little bit when we've just
mhm.
been chilling on Discord and stuff, and I think that's a game that Marissa would love. So I still think that I'm gonna end up buying that for her. Um, but that's dope, dude. I really want to actually kind of
it's
watch you
it's
play that eventually, maybe.
it's so good.
Is,
It's so good.
is there like
I can't.
combat or is it just
No,
straight puzzle? Like
it is the whole game, and I mean the whole game so far. It's just walking around.
that really?
Just walking around finding keys, finding gems, finding coins, finding little wind up things, finding like a metal detector. It's just you find stuff in a giant house,
Right.
and the whole from what I'm aware of, whole point of the game is to get to the 46th room of a
Okay.
45 room house.
Okay,
So it's
well,
like cool,
so
impossible.
I guess then just really quick for the people listening and they haven't heard of this game. I know you kind of just said
Uh,
the whole point was to find in a 46 room, but like what's kind of like the back on that though, like for the people listening in case it's something they might want to try out.
Like what do you like? What's the background behind it? Like
Yeah, yeah,
why are
like
you doing it?
right.
So you are you play this character named Simon, and he's the great nephew, I believe,
Okay.
to the owner of this manor, and this dude left the entire thing and the grounds of it to you. He's like, hey, you can have this house when I die. The only thing is that's completely uh what's the word, dependent
Okay.
on you finding this 46th room, so that's why you're doing it.
Huh.
um so yeah, it's just that way you can have a place to live, but the rooms change every single day. Like you literally go up to a door, it lets you pick
Okay.
between like 3 different rooms. You pick a room, that's not going to be the same room next time you do
Right.
it, you know what I mean? It all just, it randomly changes.
See,
It's pretty
that's
cool.
now this maybe you don't know because this is probably your first playthrough then, but do the rooms like is it all randomly generated? So like if you played a second time, maybe the first room that you find isn't actually like the room that you found in the first playthrough, or do you know if it's like a like just set and it's just randomly like generated, I guess, the first playthrough that you kind of play it until you figure it out.
So the way it works is I believe in the game they call it, like, they have a pool of like drafting cards that you can pick from, then that
Okay.
determines the room. So like
Oh.
I think certain rooms will only appear in certain squares. I think
Okay.
that's how it works, but I'm not 100% certain.
Okay.
And like each room has a rarity to it, so like there's common, uncommon, like rare, and like something else, I think.
Right.
But like yeah, so it's literally just like you, if you go up to a door and it'll draw 3 random doors. It could be a rare one, it could be a common one, it could be whatever. It's always going to be different.
Okay.
You can get the same ones, like it's not impossible, but like it's definitely like it's meant to keep you on your toes.
On
I'll
your
say
toes.
that.
Okay. And then what can you pick it up on? Right. I know you're playing on computers, so I'm assuming Steam. What are
Right.
the other platforms for it that you know of? I would
I
assume
believe
like
it's
Xbox and
Yeah,
PS5,
I
right?
believe it's also on PS5. I think it's on Game Pass even for Xbox
Oh,
owners.
okay. So then people that
So
are unsure if they want to spend the $30 can just try it
right.
out on the Game Pass. So that's
Uh
that's pretty good, dude. I might actually end up trying that too. I know I was just saying Marissa, I want to get her to play that, but that
it
sounds like
says Sorry. It
no, you're
says
good.
PS5, Windows, and Xbox. Yep.
Okay,
So
so like the main three, I
main
guess, you
three.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, there we go.
No,
I
no
guess.
Switch. I'm sorry. Sorry, Switch owners, but you get a new console this year, so that's on you guys. That's good shit.
It's gonna be huge.
Mhm.
Um, but anyways, I guess so. That's the game you're playing. Are you like watching any shows lately?
Man,
Are you just kind of like in a limbo right now? Now I've been trying to get you to finish Daredevil, dude.
yeah, you have. You've been pushing that on me real hard, and my
Hold on,
kid, my
pause.
uh, just press it against me just a little bit. Um, no, I really want to finish Daredevil. I've finished 4 episodes of it. The only thing holding me back is that I don't know if I mean, you finished it, so you know, but Matt
Yes,
Murdock is an angry boy,
he,
and he
very
just
angry boy.
he'll make people bleed. You know what I mean? Like 7 days a
Yes.
week, like a woman. You know what I mean? It don't fucking.
Ooh, god damn.
He's just constantly kicking ass, and I don't want my 2-year-old seeing that. You know, he's almost 3.
I get that.
The last thing I need is my 3-year-old jumping on my knee like
Yeah.
Matt did to that one dude in the alley. So
Yeah, I will say this without giving spoilers, dude. That
right.
last episode, like for the season, definitely do not have your boy in there. Like if you're trying to protect him from that stuff, like I don't know if you
Mm.
know much. I can't really say much, but there's a super anti-hero or a specific one that is prevalent in this Daredevil show that decides to come back out, and
Mhm.
so
Yeah, I seen good old John Bernthal come back, or whatever his
uh-huh,
name is,
yes
and he
sir.
shaved his beard, and I was like,
Yep.
ah, you,
He,
you son of a
Yep,
bitch.
and the it's like that meme, and I don't even know what it's for. There's some sports thing, and they're like, "He's back." When I saw it, dude, that was my reaction. I was like a kid in the candy store, like, "Let's fucking go," you know. So, but yeah, but I guess though, like, are you in a limbo with your shows, or are you kind of like, is there one you are watching right now?
Nah, it's a complete limbo. Like, I
Limbo.
mean, I finished Invincible season 3,
Okay.
uh, and I was like, damn, that was that was all right. And then I decided like, oh, I don't want to go back to another show and then finish it and then be like, well, what do I do now? Because
Right.
there's nothing. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I know you're a big Star Wars guy.
Oh, dude.
I'm not gonna watch Andor when it comes out. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So I literally like I have Daredevil probably to get me through the rest of the year, and I
Okay.
don't want to. I don't want
Hey,
to.
you,
Just shortchange myself. I
so
guess. I
I
don't know.
guess like if show recommendations, I know me and Marissa are like so like, and for those of you who don't know, if Marissa's my fiance, but like Marissa and me are so polar opposites, right? On like
Hmm.
TV shows we like. She likes Gilmore Girls and like Fuller House, and she'll put on even like the Golden Girls, right? Like those like TV sitcom things. And then there's me
Yeah.
that's like Star Wars, Daredevil, The Punisher when it was on Netflix, dude. Like I like those type of shows, but one that we found in Game of Thrones, even the one that we found last year, 2 years ago, whenever it released, that we really enjoy watching together is The Last of Us. So I know that they just released, like, they're releasing the episodes
Yeah.
for season
Yeah.
2. So I've told Marissa that we're gonna have to like, hey, we got to kind of start planning this. Like, we got to like once they release some more, we got to start watching The Last of Us season 2, and maybe
It.
that's when you can get it. You excuse me, you guys can go watch too. Not a fan of it?
Dude, I played the games. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I get
So
that. I played the first one. I know what happened in the second one. I never played the second one, but I know the story of it.
right. I don't know, man. Like I played the games. The games were enough. I also wasn't. I say this. I wasn't the type of person who was like really into The Last of Us when it
Okay.
first came out. Like
Yeah.
the first game. Like I didn't actually play it until probably the PS4 remaster that came
Okay.
out.
See, that's when I did. Like,
Um.
I'll admit it. I didn't play it when it first
Right.
released. So,
Right. So I mean, I got the collector's edition of the second one when that came
okay.
out, and I was like, "Well, this is a waste of like money. Why would I do
Yeah.
this?"
See, I
But
bought it. I bought the second one, never played it.
see, that's wild to me.
Like,
That's insane.
and here I am, all I want to get
Excuse
all
me.
of my I want to get all of my money on every penny that I put
Hmm.
into these games, and then here's a game that I bought,
I bought
and
a $60 game and didn't play it. But god damn it, I'll spend 70 on Assassin's Creed and put 140 hours into it.
Oh man, I mean,
Fucking
dude, you know
wild.
about that grind I did just to catch up so I could play Shadows, man. That was
Yeah,
a
that,
long month of beating Valhalla and Mirage and 100%ing them. That was a
I don't know how you
long
did it.
month.
I don't know how you did it. Those games are
Oh,
so empty and bland
oh
that I just
man, Shadows isn't though, man. You gotta give it a try. You gotta give it a
I mean,
try.
maybe when it's like $4, and I'll be like,
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah, you
cool.
know what? We're not like Nintendo, so it might go on sale.
I'll wait until I get those Unity prices, and then I'll be like, all right, cool, no problem. I'll spend $4 to be a samurai.
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, I guess like for the listener at home, we'll try to stay on schedule. We do have a little, our
Oh
main
Lord, yeah.
our main discussion for this episode, and actually, it's kind of prevalent, I guess, right now, especially with the like the news of Oblivion possibly, like getting a remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it. So I
Hmm.
guess the main topic of this episode though is we're going to be discussing the re-release of video games and charging full price, and if like that's really the route that needs to be taken at this point in the gaming industry, or is kind of how you, and we'll touch base on it, or is just
Hmm.
backwards compatible, is that good enough
Right.
for people? So I guess I'll kind of let you get into it first, just kind of what's
Oh,
your
why
take on it.
you handing it to me? Okay.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, let's be honest, right? The viewers at home going to realize that I'm awful at sticking to an outline. You were supposed to discuss that, but here I am fucking bringing it up. So,
Oh yeah, you
what?
know what? That's right. That's right. Well, see, okay, here's the thing. Don't pause it. This is keep it in. When you had brought up the Last of Us TV show, I was like, oh, that's a perfect transition. But then I was like, no, because I mean that's relative. That's new. That's something that's happening. So I
Yeah.
don't want to just gloss over that. But no, so there's a discussion. At least, I mean, I've had discussions with people. I've talked to you about it. I've talked to a
Right.
couple of our other friends about it. So the idea, you know what I mean? Like, you release a game, and then several years later, hopefully several years later, maybe even just 2 years later,
Right.
you remaster the game, or you remake it, whatever you want. Remaster,
Right.
remake, those are two different categories. kind of in the same vein though. So The Last of Us, since you brought it up, has kind of been in some muddy water with that
Yep.
topic because I mean, excuse me, they released their first game in 2013 on PS3, right?
Right.
And then in 2014 they had their re-release of the first one, which was on PS4.
Yeah.
And then in 2022 they did a remake for PS5. And so everybody was like, "Hey, that's the same game three times. Three times you're out. I don't care. I don't want it." And then they went so far as to be like, "Hey, The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020, cool, no big deal." And then they're like, "Hey, Part 2 PS5." Why? What? You don't need it, especially when Part 2 came out towards the end of the console cycle anyway, right? Like it was literally what like a year later that PS5s were available.
For I'm trying to think. I think so.
Let
I
me double
really,
check
yeah.
that.
I think 'cause we're talking about the Last of Us. Um, I'm looking up at our notes here. Let me see. The Last of Us PS5. It shows that it released in 2022. Um,
Right, The Last of Us PS5.
yeah, that came out in 22. Where
Right.
the
Uh,
PS4 came out in 2014. So I guess there was a little gap in that, but
well, but I'm talking The Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020, right?
oh yes, yes,
So that was just the first base game for the second one.
correct. Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yep.
And then the PS5 came out in 2020 as well. So they didn't even wait. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they couldn't have just been like, "Hey, here's the release." You know what I mean? Like that they waited for 4 full years to then charge people for a PS5 edition of it. And it's like, why would you do that? I feel like it's a bit ridiculous, but um yeah, so I mean, there's good and bads on both sides. I mean, especially the whole Switch 2 conversation now is like, hey, we're going to be re-releasing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. However, they were quick to point out like, hey, Breath of the Wild DLC is going to cost an additional $20 on
See,
top of the game.
man, and that type of stuff, honestly, it gets me so mad because
Mm-hmm.
with you're giving a DLC for an additional 20, like whatever, but like they're
The game's
raising the
been out.
price. Well, the game's been out, right? They're charging full price, especially Nintendo, right? Like
Right.
this is why I don't play Nintendo. It's not because it's a lack of like interest in what they make. But
Right.
me as a gamer, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, right? I didn't grow up with Nintendo, so like with the reason I love PC is because you can get a game you don't like it in 2 hours. Hey, I want my refund, and that's cool.
Right.
But let's say it's not like that. We don't get the opportunity to like get that refund from Nintendo, and they're charging so 50, 60, 70 well now I mean with the what were they saying, like $80 just for a digital game, even if it's
$80 for a digital
remastered or
game,
reworked,
$90 for a
like
physical, and then they were like, some of the physical games won't even have the physical like data on it. You'll
right,
still have to have an internet connection for it. And it's like, well, it's just a digital game at
right,
that point. You freaking
right. But for me, I guess that's why I'm actually like against, like a lot of the time I'm against remakes or remasters and they are charging you full price, is
right.
because it's like
Absolutely.
I've already played it, man, right? So
Right.
when I buy a game, it's for the story, it's for the immersion in it. So like I understand
Hmm.
you're a new console, if you like, let's say you're remastering it from the PS4 to the PS5. Yeah, that visual step is going to be better a lot of the times, but I'm not
Not even all
that,
of the time,
that
but
well,
some of the time.
you're
Yeah.
right, but I'm saying like this is like best case scenario for the game when they are doing that.
Right.
I still can't justify spending full price, right? Like I have Skyrim, right? I had it on the PS4, had it on the PS5. I even bought it on the PC. But the one thing in common with all that is after I originally got it, right?
Hmm.
I never once paid full price. It was hey, it's here for $5. It's here for two
Right. It's
dollars,
on
right?
sale.
Right. I'm not personally buying it, but yet
Excuse me.
they have enough of a following where these people are. So it's like to me, it's like how are we going down this route? But then you do have the guys that are doing it. So
100%. 100%.
it
And
just,
it's one of those things where it's like, oh, things have only gotten this bad because we've allowed them to get this bad. If people would vote with their wallets and be like, hey, no, I'm not going to pay full price for a game that was released 10 years ago
Right.
on a console that I still own. You know what I mean? Like, the jump in graphics is never going to be that worthwhile in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now if you're going from like, hey, we remade a game on the NES, or we remade a game that was on the NES and
Right.
now it's for like Switch 2. Cool. Did you remake it from the ground up? Kind of technically a new game. I don't know. I don't know. That's a muddy water situation.
Right.
Um
But I think it's safe to
I don't know.
say
I
that
don't know.
half the time, or maybe a little more than half the time, that's not even the case though. You know, they're hey,
Right.
we just we released this game, let's say in 2015, easy math. Oh, in
Mhm.
2020, here's the remake or the
Right.
remaster or whatever for the same console, mind you, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, now a year later, 2 years later, the new console comes out. Oh, here's another remaster. All
Right.
right, well now, you go down the road again. Oh, you know what? I think we're going to remaster it again or re-release the
Mhm.
remake of it again. It's like how many times like do people buy the same thing, man? Like
Right.
it doesn't make sense to me, right?
Absolutely.
It just doesn't make sense. And I know
Yeah.
you pointed out, and like we discussed about this, before we were discussing like, hey, what do we want to talk about? I told
Right.
you other than Skyrim, and once again, it was like $5, $2, like on
Mhm.
big sale. I've never been one to rebuy a game. Now I say that, and I'm a ironically, I am a huge Madden player, and we all
Right.
know like I am a Madden junkie, and I will admit every year is just a upscaling of graphics, maybe upscaling of graphics, right? There's a thing going around that like the old games
Right.
graphics are actually better, which I kind of agree. And then
Oh,
just new rosters, right? So
right.
in a way,
Right.
it's in a way it is like a remake remaster, I guess, but it's not because it's still a whole new game as far as like features and like announcers and stuff like that. So
Right.
that's where we get it. Now we did kind of discuss though how it could work.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
one we just discussed today, actually, maybe like a couple minutes before we hopped on stream, was they announced Oblivion, and I'm like,
Did
that
they
one.
announce it?
Well,
Has it officially been announced yet? I know
maybe it's not,
there's a
maybe
there's a rumor mill. There's always a rumor mill.
right.
But I think the developer of it even went so far as to post pictures of it on their website, right? Like,
I think so. Here, I mean, it's simple Google, right?
right.
Remake announce, and I'm not sure. Let me see. It still has not actually been officially announced by Bethesda itself. So maybe it isn't coming, but I think with all the hype that is around it, if I was a betting man, which I do all the time on sports, man, like I really think that it will come out. And in my opinion, if it does, I think that would be one that's okay. I
Mhm.
personally, am I going to spend the $60 on it, $70, whatever it comes out to be? No. Even like the $10, $20, probably not, because I wasn't like, I preferred Skyrim over Oblivion, and I already have Skyrim. So like, I don't need Oblivion. Um,
Right.
but I mean, what were some of the other examples that we were discussing that did work? I think we mentioned,
So we mentioned the Spyro trilogy and the Crash Bandicoot
that's
trilogy.
right.
Those kind of go hand in hand,
Yeah.
right? Because they were both developed, I think, by
By
Toys
not,
for Bob.
was it? I thought it was Naughty Dog.
No, 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 no. So, Spyro was originally done by Insomniac, and then
Okay.
the remake trilogy was done by Toys for Bob.
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot was done by Naughty
Naughty
Dog, and
Dog.
then the remake trilogy was done by.
See that I don't
Oh,
know. That I don't. Now,
Ver-
granted, I've bought them, but I honestly I thought Naughty Dog
no,
still
nope,
made the
nope,
games. Oh, okay.
nope.
But I mean, it's
Naughty
still
Dog
though.
hasn't owned Crash Bandicoot in a long time. I don't think.
Okay. See, shows how much that I.
Vicarious Visions is who did the
Okay.
trilogy remake. I apologize. That's
Okay.
Activision. So
Okay, but because it's a different company though, and like I have I like I said, I have all the remakes. I even
right,
have like the new one, the CTR, man, Crash Team Racing. That was my Mario Kart, right? Like that's what I played instead of
right,
Mario Kart. But like those I can get behind because there was such a big gap in them, man. Like, I mean, I was a kid, right, playing Crash Bandicoot, and now I'm an adult, almost 30 years old, like
right.
just getting these, So So I'm okay when it's like that personally. I don't know how you would feel about that. Like I'm more so of, it's not necessarily the quality that I'm looking. Now I am looking at the quality, but like what I'm gonna base it on is like, dude, if you just made this 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I don't
Hmm.
need it again. Like
Right.
like there's no like the nostalgia feeling to me is what would make people come back for these games. Like even in Resident Evil, I guess those are good
Yeah,
examples.
those
Like
are
you played those
yeah.
more than I did, like
Yeah,
I mean, you've
yeah,
given
I
me
do.
shit for not finishing Resident Evil Village or
No, okay. I'm just saying. You know what? When because I'm working on a gaming room. I'm just saying, Nick, come over. We'll do some streams for Resident Evil. We'll get through them, buddy. We'll
I'll
go
d-
one. We'll do it. We'll go one by one.
I think if we're streaming it and we get enough people and you're in there, because the thing with horror games like that, man, is just I lose. It's not that I'm scared, right? Like I play them, like it's fine. I
Right.
just don't enjoy playing them by myself. Like
But
it's
that's why
I
you
don't
got to
know.
stream it with me. It
I
makes
mean,
it
okay,
perfect.
I'll tell you what. If I'll do that. I'll make time to play some Resident
Okay.
Evil,
Okay.
and we'll do that. But I mean, but those are good examples. I feel like, because what was the one that just came out with the big dude? Like I said, I don't play him like that, so I don't
Just
know.
came out, big dude. Oh
Yeah, it
shit.
was like Mr. X or something, like the big guy
This is
that
Resident
was.
Evil 2 remake. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
see, but dude, like, did they ever see this? I don't know, but did they ever remake it after the original release?
What do you mean?
So when they originally released RE2, right? And then we
Yeah,
just had the RE,
on PS1. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And did they ever remake it for like
Yeah.
PS3? Okay, see, I didn't know.
They remade it for PS4.
Okay, but that's still a big enough gap. I feel like
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know,
It's a huge gap.
so like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, that's fine, and like
Right.
even if it's like one generation to the next, sure, maybe if we're talking like it was at the beginning of like the PS4 and then they announced the new, like let's say PS6, and maybe at
Okay.
that point I'd be like it's still on the PS5, but it's like at the very tail end, maybe I could maybe get behind that, dude. But when they're like, hey dude, we just released this game, this console is not even at the end stages of its cycle, and we're gonna do it
Right.
again, like come on, man.
I think we need to have a tougher line, if I might
Okay.
say that, because I think if we're gonna do this right, if we're gonna talk about this, backwards compatibility needs to be a thing. Xbox has
Yes.
proven that it works. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they have a whole backlog of games that just work. You know what I
Yes.
mean on their Xbox consoles. Um, it just to me, it, for instance, PS5 games can play PS4 games.
Correct.
Cool, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? PS4 games could not play PS3 games.
Mm-hmm.
PS3 games could play PS1 and 2, but only one version of the PS3 could, I think.
Okay.
And then PS2 could play PS1 games, I
Right.
think, right? I would say, you know what? Cool. PS5 to PS4, that's all right. Any for you if you have to go back more than one console generation, that's when you can start remastering it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like remaster, remake, do something like
Okay,
that.
I could get behind that though.
I can't agree with like, hey, we released Skyrim on PS4 after we already released it on PS3, and then they were like, hey, we're releasing it again on PS5. It's like you can go fuck yourself. I don't want it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I don't want you freaking use Cheetos, dude.
right?
No, I get,
It's just
dude, I think we're on the same, we're on the same, like, I think kind of decision on here. We might choose
yeah,
different
yeah,
factors for it, but I think we're kind of like, we don't like this. Now, is this just because we're getting old and we're becoming those old men that are like, don't get on my fucking lawn?
absolutely,
Like,
absolutely, absolutely.
maybe that's how we're heading now, but I
Right.
really do feel like that, man. Like, there are times it works, but it just feels like the gaming industry, maybe not necessarily this year, because there's a lot of like games I'm hearing about that are like not remakes or remasters, but I feel like there's some years where they're like all the new quote unquote new games are like just like they're not new, they're just redone,
Right. Yeah.
on a bigger thing. But like I just don't think that's the route that the industry needs to take. Now obviously it's all about making money, So, hey, man, if we have people that are,
Right.
if we've spent, and I understand it takes way more to do this stuff, but like, if we spent $20 and we're gonna have 100 people pay us $60 for this thing, like, let's do it. So like, I
Right.
get the business aspect of it, but just as as a gamer, man, like, it just kind of like turns me off of like,
As a gamer, man.
dude, as a gamer, man, like, but no, it turns me off of like wanting to kind of keep up with it. And then
Yeah.
for me, it kind of does
100%.
the opposite, where I'm just like, dude, I don't want to play this shit. Like
Right.
it kind of makes me hate it. Like, I used to love Skyrim, right?
Hmm.
Like I said, I bought it, a couple times after it already released, but now I'm kind of like, I see it, and it's like, it freaking triggers me, man. Like, I'm like, hey, dude, I don't want this.
All right.
Like,
Can I ask you a question?
what's
Let me
up?
ask you a question. So all the times that you rebought it, did you rebeat it?
No, that's the thing,
See?
dude. I bought it for
See?
like the nostalgia vibe. Like,
You bought it, you played it for like 2 hours, and you're like, I'm
yeah.
fulfilled. I'm
Well, so,
satisfied.
so I
I'm
will
done.
say, like, when I bought it on the PS5,
Uh-huh.
I think I put like an hour into it, and I was like, all right, whatever, it's the same thing. Cool. Like, it looks better,
It's
whatever.
wild. It's
Now, I will
wild.
say the PC version though.
It don't even look that much better. I'm
No,
gonna be
well, it
completely
doesn't,
honest.
but like, I think because I hadn't played it in so long that my
Right.
head was like, oh, like, I told myself, oh, it's PS5, it looks better.
This is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
But now I will say this, when I got it on the PC though,
Right.
I did play it a little bit longer. Well, obviously just an hour on the PS4, or I'm sorry, on the PS5. But when I got on the PC, I did play it longer, but it was because of the mods. It wasn't because of the game itself. It was because of the
Right.
mods.
It's because it was something you hadn't experienced.
Correct. So really, can you give that to Skyrim itself and be in a remake? And I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Or is it just because it's like, dude, now I can play Star Wars characters, slicing off heads using a sword in a Skyrim world? Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know, you know. So I
I
guess
don't know, man.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess then, like, for anyone listening, and we kind of answered this, but I guess like maybe just leave a comment, let us know. But is there a time frame where it is okay to re-release something and charge full price? Like I kind of said, dude, like the Crash games I was okay with, but that had been like, it felt like
Mhm.
20 plus years.
Yeah, I mean, because they originally came out on PS1, so
Right.
your brain is very much like new. Like
Right. And I think too, like the Crash games for me was like a childhood, like, oh my
right,
God, like I
right,
remember this, like I gotta try it again.
right.
So
So you're paying full price for the nostalgia rather than paying full price because
right.
because
Because it was a great game. Because it was a
right,
great
right,
game. Right. Yeah, no, it's nostalgia for me. But,
right.
I understand everybody like is like different, right? You get things that you like and everybody likes
Yeah,
something, even though it could be this for the same thing, just different reasons they like it. So I understand that. But yeah, man, for the time frame for me, dude, it has to be pretty long for me to be like, oh
right.
yeah, it's okay, like 20 years.
Yeah, and we can't forget about like the prospect of backwards compatibility. Like, does backwards compatibility? Do you think it erases the need for remakes? I don't think it does because like I think it erases the need for remasters certainly because
Yes,
remasters are typically just upgraded textures or upscaled
I
textures and
agree.
all that kind of stuff. But remakes, I think, okay, cool. If you're going further than a console generation or two consoles generation, then yeah, it's justified to do a remake
Yeah.
and maybe charge $50, $40
Right.
instead of the full 60 again
Yeah.
or 70 since we're
I
in that era.
yeah, I unfortunately,
But
man. Oh my
but
God,
yeah,
unfortunately. But
but yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm looking at peach rings right now. That's what I'm
Dude,
eating. So
peach rings.
I'm
See,
picky.
actually, I said that like I like them, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Like the gummy. So I love gummy bears, right? Gummy
Uh huh.
worms. Anything else, like anything else that is gummy anything, I hate it. I'm like a child, dude. Give me gummy bears and gummy worms. Other than that, like I will throw a little tantrum and not eat them. Like
So are you saying gummy worms are or anything gummy besides gummy worms and gummy bears? Would you say it makes red?
oh, dude, are we gonna
Would
do
you say it
this?
makes red?
Are we
Yeah.
gonna do
Would
this
you
right
say?
now?
Would you
Listen,
say so?
you don't make me get into it, man. You know I'm a fucking
Yeah.
professional
I'm
bitcher.
just
You
I'm just
know.
saying.
All
I'm
right,
just
so
saying.
okay, I guess you introduce them. What is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
So,
this?
for those of you who don't know, red's a ginger. Red's a ginger, so he's a little
What?
red. But also, if you've ever seen him get mad, his face gets like a fucking tomato. So
Dude,
we
just
have this
thinking
little
about it.
segment. We have this little segment called "What Makes Red Red," and it's an opportunity for him to get something off his chest if he decides he wants to.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave this to you. We were talking about gummies. If you don't want to discuss gummies, you want to discuss something else, buddy. Feel free, because if you don't discuss gummies, I think I might.
All right, guys, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna adjust the mic. You might hear me adjusting it. Listen, you know what really fucking makes red red? Is when motherfuckers put goddamn pineapple on motherfucking pizza, dude. Like, that shit is just so fucking gross. Like, first off, if I want a fucking fruit, eat a goddamn fruit, okay? You're going to a fucking establishment with pizza. Get the meats, get the cheeses, dude. The fucking cheeses. Okay, you get a little dude. Ooh, fuck tomatoes. No, see, I don't even know. You don't know. No, don't get me off track, okay? I can go on about tomato sauce on pizza too. All right. You don't do that.
It's a staple. It's
no,
needed.
no, it is not a staple. Okay, there's Alfredo garlic parm. There's barbecue. There's ranch. There's buffalo. Dude, anyway, okay, back to the pineapple. Okay, back to the fucking pineapple. If I want a goddamn fruit, all right. If I wanted to look after my body and my health, I'm not getting a fucking pizza, dude. All right. So this is what you got to do. You're gonna go in, and the next person you hear say, "Yes, I would like pineapple on my pizza." Make sure you stand there when they get it. And I want you to fucking unbox that son of a bitch and just slam it in their face. Just straight up, just right in the face. And you tell them, stop being a goddamn bitch, because it makes red red. All right.
I think we should advise, like, hey, if it's scalding hot, maybe don't slam their face in it. Maybe just
you know what? No. If they get pineapple on their pizza, they deserve.
I'm just saying. To avoid a lawsuit, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, I feel myself getting red. I really do. Like, I'm getting hot now. Like, it pisses me off, man. Listen,
how hot we talking? Like,
just as steamy as that pizza coming out of the box. That's for sure.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so I guess you asked me that, but you know, for the people at home. Once we kind of get more into this, right? Like, we plan on doing these in person, right? It's just we wanted to get some some talking points out, test everything going on. Now, you said I'm red and it makes me mad. So we're both big, right? But you're eating on these peach rings right now. So I'm gonna call this what makes Biggie big. And you're just gonna give me a food topic, man. Give me a take, and hopefully the people at home can agree with you. Now, if they don't, everybody listening at home, just remember, if you are 300 and lower, your opinion does not matter when it comes to food. Okay? Just remember that. If you're 300 and above, we have a little bit of say, but you're not as big as us. So what makes Biggie big?
Well, I've been eating peach rings, and I'll be honest right now, they're not hitting the spot.
Well, that's because they're gummies and they're not gummy bears and gummy worms, but
let's just stay the hell out of this. I've also been drinking on a Monster.
Okay.
Not sponsored, but if they wanted to.
Hashtag sponsor us, Creamy Boys.
I just nothing's hitting the spot, and you know what? We had pizza last night.
Oh, don't you say it, you son of a bitch! Don't you say it?
No. I agree with you. I hate pineapple with pizza.
Okay.
I think it's disgusting. But I got a sandwich. I didn't get a pizza. I got a sandwich.
Oh,
I got a sandwich.
You got that's like in a burger at Buffalo Wild Wings, man. Like,
first of all, cheese curd burger. I'd smash that shit any day of the week.
Over the wings?
Yeah. 100%.
All right, we're about to have take 2 on what makes red red. I'm gonna tell you right now. But continue.
All right. Well, you know what? Save it. I got a Black Forest ham sandwich from Pizza Hut.
What?
That's the local place. We have other places, but they all suck ass.
Okay. Also, real quick, anybody listening, all the platforms we're watching on, we are not sponsored. Okay, let's get that. This is a non-sponsored sponsor. Okay.
But I had Black Forest ham sandwich from Pizza Hut, and there was parts of it I liked. There's parts of it I didn't. They put cherry tomatoes on it, which I thought was a unique choice. Not a choice I would make. But they also gave me a pickle, which was the first time they've ever done that since I've started getting sandwiches.
Is this Subway? Wait, hold on.
I don't know.
Wait. You just said something. Since you've started getting sandwiches.
Yeah.
Is this not a first time?
This is not a first time.
Oh
This
my
is
god.
at least a we're talking double digits. Like almost every time we get Pizza Hut, I'm like, you know what? I want a sandwich,
What?
and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Pizza Hut,
You
right,
okay?
is the only place in this damn town that gives us Cajun fries.
Oh. Oh,
So
that is a game changer, dude. And also coming from
it,
Pizza Hut. What?
I can't go to Five Guys because the closest one is in South Bend. I'm not
Yep.
driving 45 minutes. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, hey, I'm there with you, man.
So I get a sandwich, I get some Cajun fries, I get some ketchup, and I'm like, I'm having a good time. And you know what? I could smash 3 or 4 of those sandwiches for like dinner. You know what I mean?
Okay,
They got
I
they
get
got
it.
they got a chicken parm, they
Oh,
got an Italiano, they got the
ooh.
Black Forest ham, they
Okay.
have a honey barbecue. That's 4 different
Oh,
sandwiches at least.
dude. Okay, you know what though?
At least.
I gotta try that. I gotta try that chicken parm, dude. Listen,
It's
I'm
good.
with an Italian, dude.
It's
Give
solid.
me
It's
give
solid.
me Italian food all day, brother. All
I'm just
day.
saying. I'm just saying. If you see me walking down the street, which isn't likely because I don't exercise, but if you see me walking down the street and you're like, "Wow, I wonder how he got that big," you can always know it was Pizza Hut sandwiches.
What makes
So
Biggie big? It's the Pizza Hut
it's a
sandwiches.
Pizza Hut delicatessen sandwiches.
Oh my god. Well,
They're gonna hate this if they ever find out. They're gonna be like, "We got to stop giving this dude sandwiches. He's ruining our business.
oh
He's telling
man.
people it makes him fat. He weighs 550 pounds. He can't walk."
Well, hey, like we said, you know what? All that means is that your food opinion matters more than
Yep.
the person under 300. So hopefully we have people returning. They're like, dude, these takes are fucking dog shit. Like,
Oh, we're gonna get so many hate comments. People are
dude,
gonna be like, you
get,
guys are fucking stupid.
yeah,
You don't
get
know what the hell
on,
you're talking about.
get off the
Pineapple on
pad,
pizza is delicious."
dude. Get off the podcast, you fat pieces of shit. Oh man. Well, John, hey, or I'm
Uh,
sorry, Biggie. I apologize. People,
it's all
they're
right.
gonna
It's all right.
dox us. They're gonna dox us.
It's all right. I mean,
But
I already told him I live 45 minutes from South
yeah, that's
Bend. What are they
true.
gonna do?
That's
Do the
true.
math? Who fucking
Who
does that?
does that? You know, my fiance. But
Witches is who does it.
yeah, my God. Well, all right,
Channel
man.
my inner Salem prosecutor and be like, witches know math.
Witches know it. Well,
Yeah,
hey, it was a pleasure, doing the
it's always
first
a pleasure
episode,
with you,
man.
buddy.
Oh, all right. We have some Red and Biggie after dark. But
Jesus.
no, but hey man, it was fun doing this with you. I am
Yeah,
looking forward to the next one we do.
absolutely.
Um I guess for those listening at home, let us know I guess your takes on what we talked about today, especially with like what I guess our main example was the um what was the re-releases and if it's okay, or is like there a time frame, or do you think just
Right.
making consoles backwards, backwards compatibility kind of erases that need? And also let me know what games you guys are playing, what shows. I mean, I need, like, you heard Biggie, he really
Yeah.
doesn't have a show right now. So
Yeah, if you have any recommendations, please feel free to comment. Throw it down there. If it's kid appropriate, that would be fantastic. But also, I don't want to watch Bluey for the 17th time. I don't. I don't. So don't recommend Bluey. I don't want to hear it.
oh man, you reminded
And
me of what's in my future.
yeah, dude, it's so fun. It's so fun. It's amazing. I'll put on DuckTales. I'll watch DuckTales. There we go. I'll
Oh,
watch
okay.
DuckTales for the 19th time. But
All
I
right.
love
Well,
DuckTales. I love DuckTales. Fuck, that's dude. It's so good. I don't know
that's
if you.
that's the
We'll
that's the
save it. We'll
hockey
save it
one,
for the
right?
next time.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
save it for the
Okay.
next time.
Okay.
It's not the hockey one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's the triplets. It's Donald and his 3 nephews.
Okay. Well, hey, yeah, we'll say that on the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Once again, guys, I am Red, and
I'm Biggie. Sorry, I'm
oh,
Biggie.
it's
I'm
fine.
Biggie.
He's a little shy, but
I am.
until next time, guys, peace out.